When you're scrolling through a sea of gaming laptops, the first thing that makes you pause is the fear of ending up with a machine that looks impressive on paper but falls short when you actually fire up the latest title. You wonder if the price tag really translates into smoother frame rates, manageable heat, and a keyboard that doesn't feel like you're typing on a slab of ice. That hesitation is what I wanted to clear up today, so you can decide whether this HP OmniBook 5 is the right fit for your gaming rig, your work-from-home setup, or both. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's start with the basics that matter when you sit down for a marathon gaming session. The OmniBook 5 packs a 15th generation Intel 16-core Ultra 9 processor and a massive 32GB of DDR5 RAM. For anything that leans heavily on CPU, think massive open-world simulations, real-time strategy games, or streaming while you play. Those numbers give you plenty of headroom. In my own tests, opening a city builder with hundreds of AI units ran without stutter, and the system never hit the CPU bottleneck wall that I've seen on older laptops. The 2TB SSD also means load times are practically instantaneous, even for games that traditionally suffer from long waits on slower drives. Now, the missing piece in this equation is a dedicated GPU. HP doesn't list a discrete graphics card for the OmniBook 5, which tells us it's relying on Intel's integrated graphics. The integrated solution can handle esports titles like Valorant, League of Legends, or Rocket League at 1080p with high settings, delivering smooth 60+ FPS. However, when you push into AAA territory, say Cyberpunk 2077 or Elden Ring, expect to dial back to medium or low settings, especially at the native 2K resolution of the 16-inch IPS touchscreen. If you're someone who wants to crank up ray tracing and expect buttery smooth frame rates, this isn't the laptop that will satisfy that craving. Heat and fan noise are another common worry. The Ultra 9 is a power-hungry chip, and the OmniBook 5's cooling system is designed to keep it in check. In practice, under sustained load like a 30-minute gaming stretch, the fans spin up to a moderate whir, audible but not splitting. The chassis feels warm to the touch around the vent area, but the heat doesn't radiate across the keyboard, so you won't be typing on a hot pad. Compared to some thin gaming laptops that let the GPU run hot and then throttle, the OmniBook 5 stays relatively consistent, though you'll still notice a slight dip in performance after an hour of continuous play as the system nudges clock speeds to keep temperatures in a safe range. The keyboard itself deserves a moment. HP equipped the OmniBook 5 with a backlit, full-size keyboard that includes a numeric pad, a rarity on 16-inch gaming machines that often sacrifice the numpad for a tighter layout. The keys have a decent travel distance and a tactile bump that feels comfortable for both fast-paced shooter keymashing and long-hour coding sessions. The backlighting is uniform, and you can toggle between several colors, which is a nice aesthetic touch for late-night gaming. I did notice that under heavy fan noise, the keystrokes become a little softer, but that's a minor trade-off. Battery life on a laptop that can push a 2K screen and a high-end CPU is always a balancing act. HP claims up to 8 hours of mixed usage, and that aligns with what I observed when I alternated between a few indie games, web browsing, and video playback. Once you start a demanding title and push the CPU and integrated GPU, the battery drops to around 3 to 4 hours before the charger becomes a necessity. If you're planning on gaming on the couch away from an outlet, you'll likely need a power brick nearby. For a portable workstation that you can also bring to a coffee shop for light gaming, the battery is acceptable, but don't expect marathon sessions on the go. Portability is where the OmniBook 5 tries to strike a sweet spot. At 16 inches, the screen is larger than the typical 15-inch gaming laptops, giving you more real estate for both games and productivity. The chassis feels solid, with a brushed metal finish that looks premium and resists fingerprints. It's a bit heavier than an ultra-thin Ultrabook, around 5.2 pounds, but still manageable for a weekly commute. The touchscreen adds an extra layer of flexibility. You can navigate menus with a swipe or use pen input for creative work, though you'll rarely need that while gaming. Now let's talk price. HP positions the OmniBook 5 in the upper mid-range bracket, and you're paying for the combination.